Hey, today's video is engine disassembly day 2, the lower end. Today we will cover removal of the crankshaft, removal of the pistons, removal of the piston connecting rods, removing the lifters, camshaft. It's already been done, as you can see. This is the bare block, with the exception of the grounding strap and some freeze plugs. It's down. So today's video is different. You might see me jump in and explain something with this kind of lighting after it's already been done and on the floor everywhere around me, because I just kind of recorded the whole day without really talking to the camera much. So it'll be a lot of fast forwarding through the actual process. You'll get to see it all happen as opposed to me talking about it after it's done. So I'll walk around with the camera here in a minute looking at different stuff and pointing things out, and then maybe after I start editing the video I'll notice some things I need to say, and then you'll just be a totally different surrounding. But whatever this is, engine disassembly complete. And we have some identification we'll throw in there. When you take the heads off, there's 10 bolts. They're really torqued on, so use a breaker bar. To get to the bolts that are underneath the rocker arm shaft, you need to take the rocker arm shaft off completely, get those bolts off. And then what I did was put this right back on so that I didn't lose anything from it, and then took these bolts out and then lifted it right off. So the only real consideration I had for removing the heads was that. Just taking those off first to get to those bolts, then putting them back. Now they're just completely here in cohesive units that I didn't get mixed up or anything like that. The head bolts, if you want to use the same head bolts when you rebuild the engine, you need to make a little cardboard diagram of where they went, because you want to put the same ones back in, because that's where the engine's used to having everything. So I just took cardboard and drew it, and then you know which direction everything is, and then popped them in there.
See what I see?
The rear one fouled all to hell.
Well, 3 of them have been burning pretty hot, but one of them hasn't.
Yeah.
obvious that was one of your cylinders causing it to smoke.
Wasn't running good, huh?
You can see them two right there. The ones that are fired hot like they're supposed to be will be bright and carboned up like that, you know, that means it's fired hot inside the cylinder. And when it's black, that usually means that it's not firing hot enough, so it got something like an oil residue.
Yeah. And then
you would probably get oil past the rings, or would it smoke when you first started it and then stop, or would it only smoke whenever you were?
I never noticed much. I never noticed much smoke at all.
Well, it smoked like hell the day I drove and took off. If it smoked whenever you first started and then it kind of stops, it's usually a valve seal and the valve stems or the heads.
These over here, these two were hot. And the rear two are wet.
A little bit weak, so you probably had some oil rings that were allowing some of the oil to get passed through. You know, and that's what will foul out your plug. That plug was probably fouled out and it wasn't firing hot enough because it had a bad miss on it.
The lifters are just a son of a bitch. You have to just push them up. And I just used the vice grip and got a little bit of a grip on them and just worked them and worked them. It took a lot of energy, but the reason that they're so stuck is because they've got that carbon buildup on them, and it's just a really, really tough fit, so expect to have to fight them. It's just gonna happen. Okay, for the crankshaft removal, these caps that hold the crankshaft in had the arrows all facing in the same direction, facing forward. So we took the stamp kit and stamped a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to know where they go. For being able to keep them in the same place that they're supposed to go. Everything else that we took apart in the engine, which we won't be using, somebody had already stamped things like this to make sure that your pistons go in the right place. So we just had to stamp these ourselves to make sure that we put these back in the right place. So it turns out that my engine is a 360. The number is right there on the side that lets you know if you have the long or the short rods. The short rods are actually the 390 rods, and the long rods are used for the 360. So I have the long ones. There was one piston that was a 390 piston. The rest were 360 pistons. Pistons are basically the same in terms of what they do between the two engines, but one of these had been replaced. The rest were just the stock 360 pistons. If you were going to be reusing the same arms or connecting rods, you would want to do what somebody else had already done, and they stamped, okay, right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a 3 stamped here and a 3 stamped here. So they always know that this is the 3 piston and that this clip goes with this one. So if I was going to reuse these and it hadn't been done, I would have stamped them, but somebody else already stamped them. and it's just also easy to do that during disassembly to make sure you keep the pieces together. It was already done here. These are going to go somewhere else. I'll probably just sell the rods if somebody wants them. When you're taking them out, you just have to be careful not to nick your crankshaft with the threaded parts, and just push them out. You have to fight them a little bit, but I got hit in the knee or the leg pretty good because one of them fell out really hard and hit me, so be aware of that as a precaution. Nothing to see here. I was gonna say, fuck you.
I was home by Wednesday dealing with stolen cash.
That hurt. Why'd they fall out so easy?
Last year when we got home.
You can probably see right here, there's a tube, and then here, the T. 2T indicates that this is a 360 crankshaft. Anybody need one? So these brackets that hold down the crankshaft are not marked, so we're going to use a punch set and mark them so we put them in the right place always.
I could have thought of that a while ago. Turn the crank a quarter turn so I can just stick my hand in and yank the bitch out. Valuable lesson. Really valuable lesson.
The crankshaft itself just pretty much lifts right out. Just be careful with it because you're probably reusing yours. I was treating mine as if I'm reusing it. Mine's not a sought after crankshaft at all, so it's probably just scrap, but if you're reusing it, make sure you store it standing up like that. If you lay it down it'll get warped and be untrue, and you don't want anything to do with that. So take it out, be careful, don't nick it anywhere, and stand it on its end. The camshaft takes quite a bit of convincing to get out of the engine. We had to put the old chain sprocket back on it to be able to pry it with some, we used ball joint separators to pull it out a little bit, and then I just used the breaker bar and just kept cranking in the same direction. What happens is that these big round lobes have to get through some bearings, and it's really tough to get it moving. You think it's not going to go anywhere, but eventually it comes out. And just also be really careful, because these edges are really sharp and they will cut you. But that's just you have to fight it to get it out, and you'll just see how much trouble I have, but it does come out. This camshaft was mistreated today a little bit because I'm not reusing it, and people don't really like to use used camshafts, so if you were going to reuse yours, it would be a totally different ball game than how we do this. Apocalypse Bob's used motor mounts, used camshafts.